people, welcome to Kate Space. Welcome to my video blog and tour of my studio. So this is Kate Space Mark, who knows how many, but Mark 2 of this space after the floods. So as you can see, as you walk in the door, I still have my floral arrangement up there on the wall. And underneath I still have this chair, which will be replaced by a chair I've purchased that because of the roads being closed, I couldn't pick it up. So it's in another town not far away, but I'm going to go and get that and get it reupholstered. And it's going to sit here in this little space here. I grabbed a little plant while I was up visiting Briley and Brittany, and we bought this little plant, which I think is super cute. Let's see if I can keep that alive. So as you turn towards the door again, so here's where we came in, excuse the mess, there's still a lot of mess around. I have this bookshelf. Now my books are still somewhat disorganized, but I just wanted to get on with it, so I've placed probably most of my vintage old books here. I've got some old magazines in the bottom, and yeah, some old books just on there, sitting on their side there. My Pixie Designs logo and a plant. So that's that bookshelf. I'm just going to close this door because of the noise of the wind. So there is some sunshine coming in, so I haven't closed the blinds. And I haven't cleaned the windows, which is something I probably would have done at the last tour. This little piece is something David made me, and it has sat on my desk pretty much since he made it for me, probably a year or more ago. Anyway, I asked him to put it up on the wall. So that's just up there, and it's just got little special knickknacks. My little collection of thimbles and my sea urchin shells, which I love. Another jar of shells, which are things I've picked up on walks, and some old glass bottles, things like that. So there's a few little empty cubbies there that can be filled. Yeah, so I love that hanging up there. Again, you've seen this piece, and I'm not going to open all the drawers. It's pretty much the same as what was in there before, with a few changes and my printer. So that's where that's sitting. This is a new piece that my friend Sarah gifted to me, or lent to me, either one. Anyway, I've got it for the time being because it doesn't fit in her house, and she said, I want you to have it. So this is a very old sort of cabinet, and as you can see, it's got a lot of papers. So a lot of these papers were actually in a plastic container, so now they're out, and most of them are papers that I would use as pages in journals and things. Here's my lovely collection of Braille paper. I was a little bit naughty and got 2 more Braille books while I was in Auckland this weekend. That's just gone. I've got a white one now, and there's one flew over the cuckoo's nest, and that's like a pink. So now I've got pink and brown and white and that cream, so a good mix. My music papers. I went through all my cardstock and had a bit of a chuck out, so this is what I've got left of coloured sort of cardstock. My ledgers are up here, and my snippets are in here. This is a container which has got some embroidery in it, which one day I might do, I don't know. In here, these are the drawers out of the sewing machine table that I used to have my sewing machine sitting on, and actually 2 of them are empty, which is great. I can put some things in there, and this one has just scraps of sort of sequiny, blingy, sari type trims. I don't know why, but it just has. I really didn't know what to put in these cupboards, so I took all my fabric out of the plastic container that was in, and I've put it in here. I don't know how that is going to work. I have more fabric than I'll probably ever use. Here's those beautiful Sanderson curtains that I purchased recently. And on the top shelf, I've just got my rolls of tickets. I don't know, again, I don't know if they'll stay on that shelf. There's still some probably tweaking to do. In this cupboard is most of the things that were in the kitchen unit that had to be thrown away. and some of the piano rolls, and then a lot of this is just all mixed media type stuff, the messy stuff. So, and then at the top is like recycled sort of packaging, and then some excess large sort of envelopes that I've received stuff in and I've wanted to keep because, you know, maybe one day I might use them. So that's this cupboard. I don't know if any of you have been watching Marguerite Miller do her little series on what stops you creating and decluttering, but I have been, and I'm thinking that after I've put most things away, I still actually do have some things in the garage, and I think that I need to do some decluttering. So that might be how my video blog in my studio continues. So I have this rolling cart that has some various things on it. Obviously my glue's on the top. And again, that may or may not change depending on how often I use those things. And if I'm not using them very often, I may swap things around. This little guy is still sitting on my desk. I didn't want to put too much on my desk. So this little one got to stay on here. And again, there's not much change to what's in those drawers to what there was before. And this is my new IKEA desk with the drawers at either end, and I'm really loving it. It's not super deep, so I'm trying to really limit what I actually have sitting on there. Briley gave me these little plastic turny table things for my kitchen because I saw them in her kitchen, and as I was unpacking them, I thought, oh, actually I wonder what one of those would be like on my desk. So that's having a trial run. They're not beautiful, they're just clear plastic, but they are quite handy having this little turny thing. So we'll see how that goes. I've got, this is my setup for my filming. It's very rudimentary, I guess. It means I can't push my desk against the wall, but this is what I'm using for now, and that's just what we have to deal with. This is the box I bought at Junk and Disorderly, the brick mold, and in there are all my collage sort of pieces that have been masterboards and things cut up, which I'm hoping to put maybe in my shop or use in journals and things. And these are just various paper scraps that haven't got a home. I'm really not that happy about the amount of paper scraps I have. Look, under here I have this and that. It needs to be resolved. Makes me slightly anxious having that much scraps, so I need to sit down and just go through them and make stuff. And yeah, so I don't know if you want to look in the drawers, but anyway, in here just some various things that were on the desk, because I'm trying to just get rid of the stuff that's on my desk. So the inks I use a lot, and just some various little bits and pieces, you know, erasers and things like that. In here, some containers of little bitty bits, so like some fussy cards, cigarette cards, tickets, stickers, things like that, so nicely hidden away. In here, that tin has now got all my thread for binding, and then some more plastic containers in there of just bits and bobs that were sort of lying around the place. This drawer's got all my string and some tools in it, like my heat gun and envelope maker, etc. And down the bottom, just all tapes and spare glues and things like that. So that's those drawers. I do love the drawers. I think they're fantastic. I'm so happy with this desk. Okay, so this is all like book pages, mostly book pages, I think, that are sort of plain on one side. And in here, again, some sort of tools that I use quite a lot, hole punches and a stapler. In here are some stickers, rub-ons, some excess inks, and again, these could probably be cold. I hardly use them. Some of them are sort of starting to dry out, etc. So yeah, these are the sort of things that I may get rid of. This is a messy drawer of stamps. I don't use many of these stamps. I use this one a lot. I use the sample ones quite a lot. My date one I use when I'm journaling. But again, they don't get used heaps. They could probably be sorted through and given away or got rid of. And these are all my punches. These all got wet in the flood, but they all seem to have survived. You can see this one's a little bit rusty, but it seems to work. So yeah, they were saved, which is great. And then here's my little writing desk, which originally was over this corner. I've pushed my desk right under the window. Still wondering whether that was wise because of the amount of sun I get on it, which is kind of nice, but also not that great if I want to do some videoing and the sun's streaming through. But yeah, so there's my desk, and that's got the same, that hasn't changed. So we've got this kind of little corner here. This is a light box for taking photos in dull light, or a light tent. I have to admit, I've never used it. I thought it was a good idea and a great purchase, but so far haven't used it. But with winter coming, we shall see if maybe in the dull whether I set it up and maybe use it more for photographing things. And there's my roll of that mull cloth. And above here is the shelf that David made me that was not in the studio last time we did it up, but I asked him to bring it down from that other room, and I've put it up here, and it's got all my journals on it. Ones that I've made myself, ones that I've made and not put in my shop or haven't sold, or just, yeah, just a mixture of journals. So that's that wall. In the center now, I don't know what was in the center. I think that table there was in the center, and that was where the kitchen was. So I found this on Trade Me, which is our New Zealand auction sort of site, eBay type thing, and it was $30, and David fixed it up. I've got a before picture which I'll put up for you, and this is what he's done. I asked him to keep the wood that was on it all grungy and messy like that. I wanted it, and then he's painted the top, and we may pop it up on casters to make it a little bit taller because I stand at this desk and it's a little bit uncomfortable on my back. So my paper press is there, my embossing and die cutting machine and embossing folders, and my paper trimmer. It's quite a big one, so it's better over here. And yeah, just a variety of things underneath here. Again, a lot of stuff. I don't know if I need it all, and I think maybe, yeah, it's time to get a bit tough with myself. So under here, I've got my box of all the Christmas things. I think that's that one. And that box there is all packaging stuff for sending journals and things away. And then that is my paper packs that I've been selling in my Etsy store. And then just a few containers of different papers. I think one of those is baby journals, and one is scrapbooking paper, maybe. Yeah, and so this is the only cube storage I have now. I used to have like 3 or more of those, but I had books on them, and I've replaced them with these bookshelves instead. So this is the cube. This is actually an IKEA cube storage that I've put together. And again, it's pretty self-explanatory what's on there, sort of stuff I've finished and don't know what to do with, some flowers, flower presses, ribbons and saris, sewing patterns. I've got like lots of different sort of hardware-y type things in here that I don't want to throw away, but I haven't used yet. Beads, envelopes, and then various book page papers that I've taken out of books, digitals that I've printed out and not used yet, and more sort of fabric-y lace type things down here. I think I've got a drawer in here that's got napkins in it. Oh, these are all my vintage greeting cards in here. And yeah, napkins. So then there's this bookshelf as well. This one is a little bit not very organized, but the books are in there, so that's good. That's what I was trying to achieve. Yeah, so I love these tall bookshelves, even though I can't really very easily reach the top, but that's okay. It's just got decorative sort of stuff up there. My little suitcase with my lace cards on it. I bought myself another IKEA rolling trolley, and at the bottom of that I've got my hoardy vintage laces, and so the stuff that was in my sewing desk that was wrecked with the water is now sort of in here, and this is my sewing table with my typewriter at the end, because I really wanted my typewriter out. I love it. So that's a little sewing box. In the little suitcase are my embroidery threads, buttons in the tin. This is my all my stuff for making my little snippets, so all scrappy stuff. There's a bin of random things under there which I've kind of sorted through. I don't want to throw it away, but I don't really have a place for it. So yeah, more sorting to do. And then the over cupboards from the kitchen unit have stayed, and in there are just things like paper towels and extra glue, and yeah, nothing. And here's like some tins and containers that haven't ever been used. So that's the same as last time. So that is my studio now. So it's nice and spacious. It's super tidy. This is probably the tidiest it will ever be. David came down and had a look and said, well, I don't think I'll ever see it looking like this again. He's probably right. And I love it. It's so good to be back in. And I just love sitting down here, and I put on some music or whatever and play away. So I've got lots and lots of things to do. So many things I've started and not finished. So that's my goal. I'm going to try and get back into it and try and finish some things. So hopefully there'll be some videos, crafting videos, and yeah, we'll just watch the progress. And if I do any decluttering or purging, I might video that as well and bring you along for that painful journey. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all your support over the last, I don't know, is it nearly 2 months, 6 weeks, since the floods and everything. I have so appreciated everyone's kindness and friendship. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you again soon in the next video. Bye guys.